Alright, let's see how this goes. I haven't made a video lately because things have been happening so fast I never get the chance to sit down and write anything. I work about 60 hours a week between my job, side jobs, and working on things around my own house. So sitting down to write something when you're exhausted is kind of hard, I'm figuring out. I'll try to do better. My goal for the channel as of right now is to reach 1,000 subs. I'm sitting at like 39 right now. So if everyone watching will hit the like button, maybe that'll throw it into the algorithm somehow. If you feel the urge to sub, by all means, hit that button too. Anyway, if I've earned that, maybe you could share by the end of the video, if you like it. And I'm no Tucker Carlson or anything, but hey, I am what I am. I'm writing this a few days after the FBI raided the once and future President of the United States. If you caught the King Arthur reference, good for you. I don't care what you think of President Trump. The FBI overstepped their authority. He had been cooperating with them about the documents for months. All they needed to do was ask. The FBI had been to Mar-a-Lago a few months ago and saw the papers he had then. All they said was to put a better lock on. This is tearing the country apart, whether you think he should be in jail or the Oval Office. Congress, well, certain representatives and senators pushing the very partisan January 6th hearings are doing everything they can to divide this nation. Please don't take my word for it. Search out the facts for yourself. The more you learn the truth, the more you will realize the lies. Just one example. Adam Schiff, California congressman and head of the Intel Committee for 3 years, kept saying they had irrefutable evidence that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia. Turned out that was completely, utter bullshit. Schiff, Pelosi, Swalwell, and others have been pushing lies about what happened on January 6, 2021. In my opinion, the people that were attacking police, destroying property, and just generally being assholes should be punished to the extent that the charges warrant. The other folks that were waved in through open doors by Capitol Police and did nothing more than wander around taking selfies with no idea what is happening on the other side of the building need to be released. They've already served plenty of time for a giant nothing burger. If you've never been to the Capitol building, you have no concept of how big that building is. There are people that have been held without bond, without trial, in solitary confinement for over a year. Since when does America hold political prisoners? The only reason other nations don't say anything about this is they can't afford to. I'm just a poor redneck in the middle of nowhere, but I've been paying attention since back when Clinton was in the news. And I've talked to people who were alive for the unrest of the 60s and 70s. And aside from the bombings by the Weather Underground and other fringe groups, some being Liberation Front or whatever the crackpots that kidnapped Patty Hearst called themselves, the nation was not divided the way it is today, not by a long shot. I remember hearing about that stuff when I was a kid. But in my house, I remember hearing more about the mafia setting off car bombs down in the River Key in Kansas City, Missouri. There's a good percentage of Americans that are wholly convinced that Donald Trump is Satan incarnate, and probably a corresponding percentage of that would fully agree with the King Arthur comment I made earlier. I'm a Trump supporter for sure, but I do have issues with how he did some things, and I think he was kind of crass for the office of the president. But I can't argue with his results. Before COVID hit, the economy was cranking along at record levels. Unemployment was at record lows across the board. He did more for the black community than Barack Obama. Again, don't take my word for it. Look it up. Anyway, my point is that I do not see a way for the polar opposite sides of America to work it out and come together, barring a catastrophic attack or giant solar flare or asteroid attack or something that would be very horrendous in nature, bring Americans together like they were on 9/12 after the towers fell. Tim Pool, another YouTuber, seems to think we are already in the beginning stages of a civil war. That they are using fifth generational warfare consisting of lawfare, using the justice system to negatively affect their political rivals, cyber warfare, utilizing information and societal modeling to influence how the masses behave. And with the bill they just passed, the Inflation Reduction Act, they're adding 87,000 new IRS agents. And rather alarming, the next day they posted a job listing for the IRS agents capable of carrying a firearm and willing to use deadly force. That should scare the living crap out of every American. That will make the IRS bigger than the CIA and NSA combined. CIA has 21,575 employees. NSA has 32,000, for a combined total of 53,575. As of 2021, the IRS had 78,000 employees. If they add 87,000, that will bring the total number of IRS employees to 165,000. 165,000. This is insane. Foreign powers won't criticize the U.S. They have too much at stake. They rely on the U.S. for too much. For protection, for hard currency, for trade, to say nothing of the military advantage we have over pretty much the entire planet, except maybe China. But I'm pretty sure China has the same problem Russia does with the corruption. How many of their generals have giant mansions or super yachts? How much of their equipment is actually crap? Their officer-heavy command structure and lack of a strong NCO corps is very similar to Russia's. And we see how that is going for them in Ukraine. They were thought to be the number 2 military in the world prior to the 24th February of 2022. And they invaded, 23rd ranked military? And were struggling in a very big way to gain any ground. And from what I've seen, they're starting to lose ground, especially in the past few days, due to Ukraine having better equipment and better training and a better doctrine. If Russia had done this in 2014, they would have steamrolled all the way to Kiev in the first week, and the rest of the country in another 2. Because for 8 years now, they've been getting assistance from the U.S. and other NATO countries. I would almost guarantee the Green Berets have been there training the Ukrainians, if not still, then right up until Russia invaded. I guess my point simply boils down to the next few months to years are going to tell the story. Will we still be a nation come 2032? Will it be a nation we recognize? Give me your thoughts in the comments. And folks, I'm going to be honest, I started this YouTube channel in the hopes of it becoming something that I might be able to earn a living off of. I know I am no Brad Pitt or Tucker Carlson, and as of now, the picture quality and audio quality leave a lot to be desired. But I've vowed to only spend money on the channel if I hit certain milestones. First will be a new starter camera at 100 subs, and new audio equipment, new mic, at 500. I know ambitious goals for a 49-year-old with little talent and crappy equipment, but I'm still going to give it a shot. Anything you can do to help the channel out, liking videos, sharing videos, and if you're so inclined to sub to help me hit those goals, it would be very much appreciated. Keep your head on a swivel out there, and God bless. Renaissance Redneck, out.